Yeah, awesome. Go ahead and lay on your backs and pull your knees into your chest and just take that nice little rock from side to side. We'll start just getting nice and warm as we get into a pretty just basic traditional ab series, and then we'll get standing into some legs. So as you're laying there, giving yourself that nice little rock, you're welcome to pull those knees in and give them that nice little circular motion as if you were stirring that pot, a couple in each direction. Taking a big inhale every time, trying to tuck that tailbone under and just pulling those knees 1 inch closer. And then you're going to go ahead and just place your feet flat on the mat for me and bring your hands behind your head. And I just want you to go into those normal crunches. So exhale, lift all the way up to the height, the top. So you're almost off those shoulder blades, come all the way back down. So give yourself that nice exhale as you lift, inhale as you come back down. Good. Exhale as you lift, and then inhale as you come back down. You're here for about 30 seconds, so take your time. I want you to think about letting those elbows fall away, so really letting them stay nice and wide, and then pressing your head into your hands as you come up to the top, and then you'll inhale to lower back down. In about 10 seconds, you're going to hold at the top for me. We're going to go into small, short little pulses in 5, stay full range for 4, last one for 3, lower down on 2. Now stay at the top for me, hands stay behind your head for the extra challenge. If you want to reach them forward, you can, but you're thinking about just tucking your tailbone under, keeping that chin tucked towards that neck like you're holding on to that lemon, and then pressing into your head into your hands. You've got 5 seconds here. 4, and a hold for me. 3, good. 2, on 1, just hold at that top, hold at that top. And then I want you to bring your right hand behind your right thigh, left hand behind your left, and then you're gonna walk yourself up the back of your thighs to come to that highest range. Hold there for me. Right hand comes behind your head, left hand, then you lower back down. Exhale, lift right back to the top. Walk your hands behind your thighs. You're gonna walk them up. You're gonna come up a couple more inches. Hold there, left hand comes behind your head, right hand, lower back down, and then all the way back up into that crunch hold. Go back into your pulses for 8, back into those pulses. You've got it 6 and 5. We're going into a full range sit up in 4. In 3, lower down on 2, drive heels into the mat on 1, lower all the way down here. Option if you need to reach your hands, you can, but you're gonna sit all the way up into that crunch, come down on a 3 count. So full range sit up, 3 counts to come down. Nice and controlled here. You're gonna have to adjust those feet and then get your hands behind your head. You can do it with your hands behind your head. You think you can't because it's early, but give it a try. Exhale. Yes, 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 you can. Drive through your heels. Beautiful. You're gonna give me 2 more full range. Hold on to it. Nice job. Exhale, drive that tailbone into the mat. You have it. It's hard. It's early. It's your first series. That's why it's a struggle. Give me 1 more full range setup. Just give me 1 more. You have it all the way up to the top. You're going to come back down. Legs come into tabletop for me. Legs come into tabletop. You're not moving your legs. You're just bringing your elbows towards your knees, and then you lower back down. You're back in your crunch. Legs are now at tabletop. You crunch up, bring elbows to knees, and then you lower back down. Good. Really basic, but you should be starting to feel this fire up your core. You've got 5 and 4. Good. 3. Beautiful. 2 on 1. Stay at the top. Elbows to knees, knees to elbows. So you're allowed to move those legs now. Come into that tight little ball for me. You have it. Little pulses for 4. Good. Little pulses for 3. We're going to extend arms, extend legs in 2. Nice. Last little pulse here. Extend arms out, legs long, and then you bring everything back in. Bring those elbows to those knees. Perfect. Right there, Max. All the way out, full extension, and then pull elbows to knees. You should be starting to fatigue here, ladies. You've got 5, pull it in. Yep, 4. Extend on that 3, pull it in for 2. On this last extension, hold for me if you can. Hold for 5, hold for 4. First rest in 3, in 2, on 1, lower down, and hold right there. Tiny little rock from side to side. Legs come back to tabletop. 3 changes in your bicycles. Hands come back behind your head. You're going to lift all the way up. It's a 2 count hold each side. So we twist right elbow to left knee, we hold for 2, and then you twist left elbow to right knee, you hold for 2. I want it nice and slow and controlled here for me. So every time you hit that knee, it's a 2 count hold. I'd rather you go slower than faster. When your elbow gets to that knee or right past that knee, think about the tuck happening in your tailbone, that pinch happening in your side. Beautiful. From here, I want you to start adding 2 pulses. So when you get to that hold, you're going to pulse that elbow towards that knee knee for 2, then you switch and hold, pulse that elbow towards that knee. You've got it. You're gonna go into your alternating switches in about 8 seconds. So make sure you get one more set of pulses towards each knee. Now we just switch it out in 3, in 2, you switch right elbow to left knee, left elbow to right. Just switch and switch. Beautiful, switch. Here's where heart rates start to come up a little. You're twisting and you're switching, you're pointing through those toes. Don't give up on it. It's 15 seconds. Knees are gonna come into your chest, and then we're gonna rock ourselves up. We're gonna hit a forearm plank in 10, in 9, keep fighting, 8 and 7, twist for 6, twist for 5, you have it, 4 and 3, 2, very little break, rest right here, pull your knees into your chest, rock yourself up right into your forearm plank. It's a minute hold. I don't want you to move in your forearm plank. First one right here. I want you to just find your form and hold on to it. So you're pressing your forearms into that mat. Your shoulders are going to relax. As you press your forearms down, you're zipping from those ankles to your inner thighs. Your tailbone is tucked under and your belly button is pulling towards your spine. You're breathing through this. No movement here other than finding the contractions and the squeezes for me. Good. Butt doesn't come any higher, Max. Keep it right there or a little hint lower. As you're squeezing through this, I want you to think you already are at that halfway point. You're just waking everything up for me. You're going to come into an all 4 position. You hit a cat-cow stretch at the end of this. So I want you to breathe for me. Take a big inhale. In 20 seconds, you're out of it. So do not take that break right now. You have this. You keep squeezing. You keep breathing. Look to the edge of your mat. Your knees are going to come down. Everyone's walking up to their hands. You'll give me a cat-cow. We go right into that first leg series in final 10 and 9. Breathe for me here. 8. Option to grab that 2 or 3 pound weight to go behind your knees. Option to put Balas on. It's a quick transition in 3, in 2, in 1, knees come down. I want you to hit that cat-cow stretch instead of your child's pose. So your knees are going to come right over, right underneath of your hips. Shoulders are right over those wrists. Options here after that child's pose, stick Balas on if you want it, and then grab your 2 or 3 pound weight. You can do the first 3 changes with that weight behind your knee. If you have a ball, you want to use the ball, you can. If you have no props, you do not have to use them. It's just the extra challenge. I am starting you on your wrists. If it's too much, you'll walk down to those forearms, but I'm going to cue you on your hands. Weight is going to be behind that right knee to start. Donkey kick series, 3 changes before we ditch the weight. Spread fingertips out. You meet me here. You flex your right foot. You squeeze that weight behind your knee. It's a full range movement. You lift that right leg up and then you come down to a hover. What I want you to think about is pressing through that right hand so that you do not start to sink into that left side. If this gets to be too much, just ditch that shoulder being on your hands and come down to your forearms. I'm fine with it. If not, you're thinking about lifting up and giving me that big squeeze on your weight. Hamstrings are the muscle we're starting with right here into that center booty. You have 8 seconds. It is slow and controlled. When you exhale, you're lifting and squeezing at the top. Make sure you get that squeeze at the top and you're not dropping that knee. That weight is going to want to pull that knee back down faster. We hold at the top for pulses in 3. Big lift for 2. Last time you lower. Now get that leg up there and you pulse. Just stamp that ceiling. Think about trying to squeeze your heel towards your glute and then squeezing from center booty right here. Every time you pulse up, it's because it's being driven through your glute, not your foot. In 8 seconds, you're going to put it together for me. Full range movement, 3 pulses at the top. In 5, you have it. In 4, keep pulsing. In 3, in 2, now let's put it together. You bring that knee to a hover. You lift it up, 2 and 3. That first lift counts as 1. So really it's 2 additional pulses, 3 at the top. You have it. Really just focusing on the warmth that you're building in that hamstring. We hold at the top. You're going to ditch your weight after this hold. You have 5 seconds here. Get that last set of pulses in. Everyone holds in 3. In 2, everyone hold at the top for me and just hold. Freeze. Where can you squeeze? Can you squeeze the center of your butt? The line under your butt into your hamstring should be warm. Now bring your heel a little bit closer to your seat. Perfect. Now take a big inhale here for me. On that exhale, option if you want to bring that left hand to your thigh or behind your back. You have 5 seconds here before that knee comes down. You ditch that weight, extend that leg. In 4, you have it. In 3, in 2, on 1, you bring that knee back down. That weight comes out towards that side. Everyone walks down to their forearms. You extend that right leg long, and then you lift it up to the top and you hold. 3 more changes here.
You're out of your hamstring. I want you to think center booty. We're going to hit a little bit of inner and outer thigh. You're going to tap those toes to the left corner of your mat. You lift up and then you tap to the right corner. It has to be slow. Lift and squeeze. You tap left corner, you lift up center, you tap right corner. I do not want this fast. I want you to think about where you're squeezing from that inner thigh and then that outer thigh as you're drawing that nice half triangle. Beautiful. You're looking right towards the edge of that mat. Back is really flat, but pull your belly button and don't let that back collapse. Meet me in pulses at the top in 3. Lift for 2, final tap on 1. Now pulse it at the top, pulse it center for me. Good, right there. Squeeze. Now you have no bend in that knee anymore. I want you to think about creating as much length as you can behind it as you squeeze from center booty. 8 seconds right here. 7, nice. 6 and 5, keep it lifted. 4 and a hold, perfect. 3 and a hold. Last 2, go right into your bend and extend. Little bend and extend. Keep it tiny, keep it right at the top of that range. You're fighting for that extra inch. I know you can give it to me. Yes, right there. That extra centimeter while you're tucked and lifted is going to help. You've got it. 5 more pulses here. We're holding in 4. You can do it in 3. I told you just 3 changes in a hold, so you're doing great. On 1, you freeze for me. Freeze, 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 freeze. Option here to bring that left hand to your thigh or right behind your back. Find your balance. Keep that leg lifted. Can you find that sweet spot where it starts to burn? We're walking back up to our hands in 4. In 3, leave that leg lifted. In 2, on 1, you walk up to your hands. You extend that left arm. We're going to bring the elbow in to meet that knee. We give ourselves a full extension. Elbow comes in to meet that knee. Full extension right here. Fatigue the leg, but add the abs in. You've got it. 1 change left. It's that plank. I want you to just re-engage the abs, full extension squeeze, wake up left shoulder, right glute should be nice and warm. We're not rushing, we're taking our time. 8 seconds to go right here. 7, cueing the high plank, take the forearm plank if you have wrist issues. I'm going to cue the high plank for those of you who don't. You've got 5, reach for 4, a plank for me in 3, in 2, final hold, and then come down into your plank. Yep, come right into your plank. Here's where you finish that second minute here. Lots of minute holds today. No movement. I don't want any movement. I want you to think to yourself when you're in your plank, if you're on your hands, your fingertips are spread out, you're going to want to overly lock out your elbows, soften them just a hair. I'm fine with the forearm plank. If you're in your forearm plank, I want you to press into that mat, pull your shoulders away. Nice, Amy, that looks great. Everyone's pulling belly button in. You hold on to it for me, halfway point. You freeze. Those knees are coming down again. You're going right into your your cat-cow stretch. We're going to put weight behind left knee. We're just going to keep flowing through it. This is your active recovery and break right here before we switch sides. 20 seconds to go. Can you take a big inhale here for me? And as you exhale, where can you contract? Can you pull belly button to spine? In 10 seconds, you're going to drop those knees, walk up to your hands, and you're going to go ahead and put that weight behind your left knee in 5, in 4, squeeze for me, 3, and 2, knees come down on 1. We walk up to our hands. You grab that weight. It goes behind that left knee. I know you're thinking non-dominant side, but your weight in your right leg stabilizing you is going to help you here. Take the cat-cow, make sure you get a stretch, and if you need a sip of water, you take it. Weight goes behind that left knee if you use it on the other side. Take a big inhale here for me. I want you to really think about pressing into that mat and now flex through that left foot. Give me those donkey kicks. So you lift all the way up, stamp that ceiling, and then you bring that knee down to a hover. Good. Lower down. Exhale, lift and squeeze. If you do come to your forearms, you're going to be able to go a little bit higher. If you're on your hands, that's what I'm cueing. You'll know that you're only going to be able to go to about hip height because you're tucked under. Form is perfect. Yep. Hold on to that. Nice. Backs look really flat. Inhale as you lower, exhale, squeeze to lift. Now think about squeezing that weight. If you have a weight behind your knee, I want you to feel like it's a ball or something you want to pop. And then that heel is coming towards your seat to fire up that hamstring. Lower down to a hover, exhale, squeeze, lift all the way back up to the top. We're going to meet in those pulses in about 5 seconds. I want you to stay at the height of your range and just focus on your squeeze in 3, squeeze in 2. Everyone meets me at the top, you're pulsing. And the only reason that you're stamping that ceiling is you're squeezing from the center of that
left cheek, you're pressing into that left hand. Yes, you've got it. If you need to come to forearms, nobody has to be here. You come down to those forearms. You have one more change right here. You have it. 5 and 4. Let's give ourselves full range with 3 pulses at the top. And 3 and 2, bring that left knee down. Exhale, lift all the way back up. And then you give me those pulses at the top. I want you to think about hamstrings right here. You're squeezing that weight. And even if you don't have a weight, you're squeezing your heel towards your seat. And as you exhale to press at the top, you give me 2 more squeezes while you're there. And then you come back down to that hover. Good. We're going to meet in that final hold in 5. You've got it. In 4. Last couple pulses right here. Give me 1 more full range. If you have time, meet me at the top in 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. Yep. Take a big inhale right here. As you exhale, you pull that knee up a centimeter more. You pull your heel to your seat. You give me 8 and 7. Yes, you can. 6. Knee comes down. You ditch that weight in 5 and 4. Good. In 3, last 2 on 1. Knee comes down. You're going to bring that weight over to that left side. You're going to walk down to your forearms for me. Extend your left leg nice and long. Yes. Take a big inhale here. Now lift that leg all the way up for me and hold. Perfect, Amy. As you take a big inhale here, you're going to tap that toe to that right corner of your mat, lift it all the way up in that left corner. We're on those forearms. You're breathing for me. Big inhale here. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale as you lower. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Perfect. Take your time here. As you're in that forearm plank, the forearm all 4, think to yourself as that leg comes up over to that corner, you're really reaching from outer thigh and then that inner thigh. You're going to meet me in that center hold in 5. Good. In 4, meet me on your forearms. In 3, good. In 2, hold at the top for me right into your center pulses. Little tiny lifts right here. If you want to, you can always bring that right hand to that thigh, finding your balance. We're in pulses right in the center. Good. You hit that bend and press in 5, 4, good. 3 and 2. Give me that little bend and extend. Little bend and extend. Little bend and extend. Good. Hold on to the bend and extend. Think to yourself right here, as you're breathing, you're trying to flick something off of the top of your foot. Look right to that edge of that mat. You've got it. 10 and 9. Good. 8. We're coming up to our hands in 7. In 6, keep breathing for me. 5 and 4. Don't give up on this. 3 and a hold. 2 and a hold. 1. Freeze right where you are. How far can you reach that toe behind you? Can you plug belly button in for me right here? Walk up to your hands for me in 3. Good. In 2, walk up to those hands. Right arm is going to reach nice and long for me. Elbow is going to come to that knee, and then you'll find that full extension. It is slow. It is not fast, because I want you to squeeze your cheek, squeeze that glute as tight as you can, and then reach that arm long. So we're also finding length, and we're really using our core right here. 8 seconds for me. 7. Good. 6, keep breathing. 5, forearm planks for everyone. In 3, you've got it. In 2, give me 1 more elbow to knee, extend that arm, drop knee and leg down, and you come into that forearm plank for me. Good. All the way into that forearm plank. We'll make up that other side. Take a big inhale and exhale here. Again, I know you want to move in these. I don't want you to. I want you to think, how can I contract my muscles and make this harder for myself without movement? You are zipped up from your ankle towards those knees, your inner thighs, and you are just pressing that mat away from you, from me. You're like, I'm out of here. 30 seconds. You're doing great. I want you to take that big inhale. And as you exhale is when that belly button is pulling in, those shoulders melt away from your ears. 15 seconds to go right here. You're welcome to start squeezing inner thighs together. Squeeze and tuck. Good. Squeeze and tuck. Keep everything controlled. Final 10 and 9. We get a child's pose and a break for me. In 8, you'll take a sip of water before we get into arms. In 7. Good. 6 and 5. Final 4, 3, 2, and you rest. Good. Open knees up nice and wide. Take the big inhale. Legs and abs should be warm. As you open those knees up, think about wiggling those fingertips just a couple inches away from you. Perfect. And then you're going to go ahead and take that sip of water. We're going to grab 2s, 3s. I'm keeping you on the floor for your arms and just taking those legs out of it. So you'll meet me Indian style, balas, 2s, 3s. If you have them on your ankles, take a break. Once you're here, take a big inhale here for me. I want you to reach those hands up without any weights towards the ceiling. Look up towards that ceiling. Find the length that you're creating, almost like someone's just pulling you from that top with a string. Hands come back down, but you stay nice and tall. Grab those balas or your twos or threes. You open up into your T. We have a hold. So as you're in this first hold, I want you to think about your exhale. As you exhale, shoulders relax. You inhale here and then exhale almost like you're reaching those fingertips 1 inch further away from you. It's just a hold for 10 seconds. Some holds here and then some pulses. You'll get nice and warm in shoulders. We're going to get your triceps as well. You have 5 more seconds here before we turn this into a bend and press. I want your palms to continue facing the floor here, and you're going to go into that little bend and extend in 2 on 1. Little bend and extend. It is so tiny. You're barely going to feel the movement, but your shoulders are going to start to fire up, and then you're going to feel it in your triceps in the back of your arm, that little bend and press. It does not have to be fast. It has to be deliberate. I want you really focused on form here too. So you're almost tucked under, lifting. So belly button is pulled in. Keep going with those little bend and presses. 8 and 7. Good. You have it. 6. You're going to be fine if you end up going to body weight. And 4 and 3, but not yet. 2. Hold for me on 1. Palms turn to the back of the room. They turn to the front of the room. Now just focus on your rotations as you turn palms forward, turn palms back. 8 here. Good. 7 and 6. No pulse in that bend and press, just the rotation. 4. Good. 3 and 2 on 1. Palms face the floor. You're going to circle towards me. I know it's really slow and controlled. You have to work to get into that warm spot. I want you to be thinking about where you're reaching, where you're squeezing triceps and your shoulders as you circle here for me with control. Arms have been up for a while. Reverse it in 4, reverse it in 3, in 2. Now reverse the circle. Think shoulders and triceps here, shoulders and triceps. And then you're also thinking about the length you've created in your core. So just circle those hands. Palms are still facing down. You're circling that pinky to the back of the room. You have 8 seconds here in a hold. 7, you're doing great. 6 and 5, final 4 and 3, last 2 on 1. You hold for me. You bring those arms right in front. Freeze. Take a big inhale. I know this is the mean part. Hold on to it for me. You go to balas or you ditch weight. You got to fight to keep those arms up. When you think you want the break, count to 3, then you take it and you join me stronger. Little bend and extend right here. So now we're going to the front of the shoulders. We're just changing where we're hitting those triceps. It is mean and slow and controlled. You are not going fast. You're thinking about where you're sculpting in that arm. Slow, controlled, long, and lean. 8 seconds right here. 7, you have it. Get there. 6 and 5. Good. 4 and 3, final 2. Hold for me on 1. You rotate arm, palms away, palms towards each other, palms away, palm towards each other. If this is too much mobility, then you can just go from that palms down to palms up. But I'm going to have you almost drawing that circle. Palms face each other, palms face away. A little bit different, just focusing on some mobility here. 8 and 7. Good. 6, palms face the floor. We head into those circles in 3, in 2, on 1, away from each other circles. It's mean, I know, because it's so slow and like you don't hear that music. You want to go faster. You're doing great. Check in with your core, check in with your breath right here. It's 8 and 7, last 6 and 5, reverse in 4, reverse in 3. You've got it. 2, reverse that circle here. Nice and slow and controlled. If you ditch those weights, you're going to go a little bit faster than if you have them. You've got 6, I know, 5, 4 and a hold, 3 and a hold, 2, 1, freeze, palms face each other, go into that 90. We open those arms up, we squeeze them to parallel. I want it slower than you think it should be. I don't want arms to touch. I want you to think about squeezing that giant beach ball. Now we get a little bit of biceps with those shoulders. Triceps will stay warm for us. 8 seconds here. 7 and 6. Good. 5 and 4. Fight for it. 3, arms stay open. And 2, arms stay open. And 1, little pulses up, little pulses up. We're going to draw them in. 2, 3, 4. It's out. 2, 3 and 4. Slow and controlled, like you're trying to punch that ceiling, but that magnet's not letting you. You've got 1 more coming in all the way out. You're doing great. You just keep breathing for me. On this next one, you get to hold your arms out into that goalpost in 2, 1, freeze. We rotate down. I know, we rotate up, we rotate down, we rotate up. Now you're in that bigger movement. You should be feeling warmth all down that arm. You're doing great. 8, nice aim. 7, 6, check in with your core. Are you breathing? Are you contracting through that tummy? You've got 3, last 2, hold it up on 1. You give me a right arm press, a left arm press, and then both arms come together at the top. Breathe. You have a light weight here. As you press up, I want you to pretend like you're pulling something down to contract. Right side, left side together. You've got this. It's a right arm press, that left side press together. Get your arms up there. You're almost out of it. You've got 2 minutes left in these arms. You have no help from those legs, so I need you to fight through this last little bit. Now you ditch that unilateral work, just up together. Inhale and exhale here as you pull everything down. You've got it. 10 and 9, you're doing great. 8 and 7, good. 6 and 5, final. 4 and 3, beautiful. 2, come back together here for me. Bring arms into that parallel. Give me that high hammer curl. High hammer curl, just a little bit in those biceps. Squeeze tricep, squeeze bicep. It's tricep and bicep work here. You have this. I need 30 seconds left of work in your arms. You're doing great. You're going to come into a hold. We're going to pick our favorite movement. We finish the last 15 seconds. Stay in your high hammer curl. 10 seconds in the hammer curl. We hold. Front raise. You can go front raise or into your T. We've got little bend and presses to finish in 3 and 2. You pick your poison. Palms face down. You can give me a bend and press to the front, bend and press to your T. I think for most of you, the bend and press in your T is going to be your extra challenge, but you find what it is. It's only 10 seconds. It's 10 seconds, and then we've got one last plank. I want you to breathe through it. You're going to be tired in your shoulders. You're in a plank in 5 and 4, forearm plank in 3 and 2 and 1. Drop those weights. Don't drop your arms. Get into your forearm plank. I know. Open your feet up right from the start. Open your feet up right from the start. I know you want the break. Don't take it yet. Feet are open. You've got those shoulder reaches. This is where we advance and you start to get stronger in those shoulder reaches. Yes, you can. You reach that right arm forward and then you reach that left arm forward. Yes, you can. It is so slow because you're fatigued in your shoulders. Watch your hips. You can even tap right in front of you versus keeping that arm lifted in the air. 15 seconds. You do not lose this. You have it. Fight for this last little bit. Fight to keep your hips square. Breathe. Inhale, exhale, reach. In 5 seconds, we're going into a hold. In 4, good. Keep knees, keep feet spread apart. We're going to bend those knees. In 2, hold where you are. Keep pressing into the mat. Bend right knee, bend left knee. Good. Bend right knee, bend that left knee. Think about lower abs right here because you're tired. You're going to want to go right into just those knees that are moving. Think about lower abs helping you here through it. In 10 seconds, you're in your final hold. I won't make you do a plank again today, so I need you to finish really strong. In 4, in 3, here's where those legs glue together. In 2, here's your final 30 seconds in a plank. Again, you do not have another one today, so here's where you breathe. I know. Big inhale. If your shoulders are killing you and you need to come up to your hands, you can. But you've got this. If you want to get off your wrist, go into your hollow body hold. I don't care where you are, as long as you're holding on to that core work. You have 20 seconds. You can do this. Here's where you find your breath and you breathe and you power through thinking about how strong you are. You're there. Squeeze your glutes, tuck your tailbone under. 10, 9, yes, you can. 8, give me a little tuck of that tailbone. 7 and 6, you're there for 5. Child's poses. 3, 2, 1, rest. You're out of your shoulders. Press back. Open knees up nice and wide and just take a moment here. We're going to finish standing. Big inhale. On your exhale, you wiggle those fingertips just a couple inches away from you. Everything should be nice and warm as we get ready to stand, but I want you to take your time here. Take the sip of water if you need it. You're going to go ahead and find that downward dog if it feels good. If you're protecting those wrists and you just want to stand up, I'm okay with it, but I need you to take your time getting there, and I want you to breathe for me. Just those little breaths. Beautiful. When you walk yourself in, give yourself that nice slow shoulder roll up to the top. Option is stick your balas back on. But other than that, a little bit of body weight work. We're going to go into a squat series with a leg lift. We'll end up in the leg lift. We're not starting there. I just want you to know where you are when we start to move on your mats. We're going to start with a body weight squat. Balas are fine. For a band, if you want to go band,
I would say put it above your knees, medium, because we're adding the leg lift, so be careful. I don't want it around shins. I want you to be able to open that leg up. So if you get started and you have the band for the extra challenge and you can't move your legs, you ditch it. Heels are going to be turned in, toes are going to be turned out. You start in the squat, and that's where I want you. You're just going to lower down with control, lift and squeeze to the top. I want you to think about your form right here. We just hit those abs, legs, and then those arms. So now we're reigniting those legs. It's just a body weight squat right here. Form is what I care about. So I want you to think about shoulders relaxed down. When you drive your seat down to that mat, I need you to be pressing your knees apart. I need you to be pressing away from that floor. You have 20 seconds left right here. You're going to stand for me. We're going to give ourselves a right side leg lift. Then we'll go into our squats again, left side leg lift, and then we'll put it together just so you know where you are in that pacing. 8 seconds right here. You're going to stand up. Your weight is going to shift into your left leg. Your right leg is what's going to be moving first. We'll do it together in 5, 4, finish your squats, 3 and 2 on 1. You shift that weight into that left leg, soften the bend in that left knee, and then you're just going to give me that right side leg lift. Foot comes to a hover, lift it right back up. Notice there's a hint of a hinge, but I'm fighting it. I'm trying to almost lean into that right side. Stay lifted. Don't start to shift. If you need to hold on to something, you're welcome to, but you guys are going to be fine. You always have the option to bring your hands into prayer. So we're just hitting that outer thigh right here. Your foot stays flexed and it stays parallel. Good. 8 and 7. Control this movement while you're fatigued. 6, you're back to your body weight squat. In 5, we'll do a body weight squat and a leg lift. In 4, you've got it. In 3, I want 1 squat, 1 right side leg lift. In 2, on 1. So you give me that squat, you come up, you shift your weight, you lift that leg, you come right back down, lower, lift, squeeze, shift your weight, you lift that leg up, you come right back down. Take your time. I'm okay if the squat is more narrow. Play around with it, shifting that weight. You don't have to rush through these. You can take your time, but I need a squat with that center booty squeeze, a shift into that left leg, right leg lifts up, and it comes right back down. You go right into your squat. I need a squat hold from you in 5. Finish it up. 4. Give me the squat hold in 3. In 2, down hold. Give me that last one. Get into that squat hold. Get into that squat hold. Breathe. Now press your knees apart. Press your knees apart. I love to start trickling into my toes here. Pull the weight into your heels. Sink back and hold. 8 and 7. Yes, you can. 6. You stand in 5. You stand in 4. Good. 3 and 2. All the way up back to your body weight squats. We'll have squats in the series. Lower down. Big lift and squeeze. We're getting ready to hit that other side. I want you fatigued here, and I want your center booty talking to you. You're coming into that last 5 minutes of work anyway. As you come into that body weight squat, think about where you're squeezing. It's a center booty squeeze, and your knees are pressing out. Whether you have a band or not, you lower down, and then you lift up. Your knees are pressing out, and you're squeezing in that seat. We're going to hold here, going in at the top, just into those leg raises on that left side. In 5, finish your squats. In 4, you hold at the top. We shift the weight into that right leg. Left leg is what's going to stay straight and lift all the way up. In 3, in 2, you meet me at the top. Shift the weight into that right leg. Find a soft bend. It's that lift and that lower. So you're feeling this down the side of your leg. I don't want that left foot to touch. I want you to lift it up, and then you come down to a hover. Soften the bend. Don't let your right knee lock out. Just 10 seconds right here with control. Flex your foot, reach that heel up, and then it comes back down. You're putting the 2 movements together. So you're going to give me a body weight squat, that left side leg lift in 3, in 2, in 1. Give me that squat down, and then you lift up. Slight shift to your weight, and then you lift that left leg up. Take your time. It sounds more difficult than it is. You do not have to be perfect on this. I like all 10 toes facing forward, but I care more of that you're giving yourself that squat, and then you're confusing your body. You're going right into that leg lift. You're going to start alternating for me in about 10 seconds. So it's 1 squat, 1 leg lift to that right, 1 squat, 1 leg lift to that left. Start alternating in 3
After this left one, start alternating. Squat, you lift that right leg up at the top, you squat down, you lift that left leg up. Start alternating here for me. You have this. It's 10 seconds, you're back in your squat hold in 8. In 7, take your time, you squat down. Think about that. Flex in your foot, you're reaching that heel. In 3 seconds, I need you in a squat hold. Open feet up if they got too narrow. In 2, on 1, squat hold for me. Squat hold, squat hold, squat hold. Get down, oh, get down there. Squat hold, squat hold, squat hold. Freeze. Now start to just pulse for me. Just pulse it. I know you're fatigued. You should be a lot of squats. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. You have it. Squeeze and release. You have 10. You have 9. Stay in it for me. Think about pressing knees out. Think about how strong you are. 8 and 7. You stand in 6. In 5, hands behind your head, leave your band down if it's there. 4 and 3, good. 2, you stand on 1, toes face forward, hands behind your head. Go right into your good morning, almost like an active recovery. We hit those hamstrings, we've hit outer thighs, inner thighs, and that booty. So I want you to think about coming all the way down. You squeeze as you come back to that top for me. Focus right here. We'll grab those weights in a second for that last couple minutes of work. Finish in your good mornings, almost like an active recovery. Hips are shifting to the back of the room. You stand up nice and tall. We've got 5 seconds right here. 4, beautiful. 3, last 2, on 1, stand all the way up. Grab your weights for me. Grab your weights. Last little bit of work here. I'm just really going to burn out the legs and those shoulders. Weights come into your sides. It's a reverse lunge, alternating sides. We're going to go alternate front raise, alternate side raise. Just so you know where you are, right leg is going to start in 3. Start with your front raise in 2. On 1, you come back, right side, you lower, lift and squeeze. When that left leg comes back, you think T. When that right leg comes back, you think forward. No push-ups. So I'm getting you in these shoulder raises. I know. You do not have to do it if you want to just focus on legs, but I want you to think you do not have to rush through this. It's a front raise, hands just come to shoulder height. When that left leg comes back, you give me that T. Beautiful. You have 10 seconds here because you're using your weights. Heart rate's going to come up a little bit more. You're going to meet me in that right side back. It's going to turn into a split squat with that front raise. In 3, hold that right foot back. In 2, right foot hold back. In 1, as you're down low, good. You're lifting, you're bringing those arms down to your side as your legs straighten, and then you lower and you reach. This is so basic, but if you squeeze correctly, you're going to fire up. Don't lock out that front knee. Think about shifting your weight into the heel. 10 and 9. Yes, you can. 8, you stay down low for me. And 7, in 6, fight for 5. You're coming to the end of it. 4, stay down low. And 3, next one. 2, you pulse down an inch with your leg, up an inch with your arms. Down and up. Yes, you can. 10. 9, oh yes you can. 8, you're standing up, left leg comes back. In 5, arms are in a T. In 4, in 3, good. 2, on 1, stand together, left foot comes back, arms are open nice and wide. As you stand, arms come down. As you lower, arms come up. Finish it. You're doing great. Lower, lift and squeeze those arms. As your legs come up, arms will lower. We've got pulses in 5, pulses in 4, last 3 and 2. On 1, get down low, pulse it. Down an inch with those legs, up an inch with those arms. 15 seconds, yes you can. You've got less than a minute of work before we cut off. I want you to breathe and heart rate will come up right here. You will have 5 seconds. You stand together. You get rid of those weights. In 4, in 3, good. In 2, everybody stand all the way up. Ditch your weights. You've got 30 seconds of jumping jacks. I know, like, who am I? And then you're out of it. If you cannot jump, then you're just going to step right foot out, left foot out. But I just want heart rates up to end this. You have 20 seconds. Can you fight to finish it nice and strong right here? Heart rate should be up. Legs should be tired. Full body moving right here. 15 seconds. We're going to cut off in about 30, but I'm bringing you right till the end. 10 and 9. Good. 8 and 7. Keep jumping. 6 and 5. You've got it. 4, 3, 2, 1. You made it. All the way up. Reach arms up. Reach arms up. Take a minute. Exhale. Reach those hands up towards the ceiling. Give yourself that soft back bend. And as always, give yourself that great big bow. Take your time rolling up. I will not be on Saturday, but I will see everyone next Tuesday for my birthday class. Thanks, ladies.